Alright, so it looks like investors and the mother is talking about Workhorse and this USPS contract here. So I'm going to put my pineapple 2 cents in too. Welcome traders and investors. In this video, I'm going to talk about what happened on Friday, October 9th, and what I think of the prediction from ROTH Capital Partners as well with their announcement on Friday and what I'm also planning to do. I actually just created this channel, so if you find anything interesting in this video, please hit that like button down below and subscribe for more content. Thank you. And also, let me know down in the comments what you are planning to do with your workhorse position. And also, I want to make it very clear that I'm not a financial advisor and anything in this video is my sole opinion for education purposes only, and also without any sort of compensation from Workhorse, cough, fuzzy panda, cough. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so what the heck happened on Friday? So, on Friday, October 9th, as you can see, during normal trading hours, Workhorse jumped about a 12% movement, 12.6% exactly. And then after hours, they jumped another 5%, which is about, what, 17% total? That's in one day, which is crazy to see about. I'm sure if you're in any sort of workhorse position, you all probably already know why. Well, it was because of one investment group called ROTH Capital. ROTH Capital Partners right here. So they made an announcement and an article showing how they believe that Workhorse is expected to win the USPS contract. And I'm going to go over this article right now. So it was actually posted from Fly. But in this article, they pretty much are describing why they believe that Workhorse is best fit for this $8.1 billion post office contract. I'm going to go over what they posted. If anyone wants a link to the news I'm seeing right now and what I'm summarizing, I'll put it in the description down below. I'm unable to find the actual article that ROTH Capital Partners did post, but I have seen it and it is out there. But if you do see it, go ahead and post that link in the comments down below as well, so I can actually take a look at it too again. But I'm going to go over this article that did summarize what ROTH Capital Partners did talk about. So pretty much on Friday, October 9th, ROTH Capital put out their predictions on when the USPS contract is expected, and they expect the contract to be announced on October 13th. And the reason why they state this is because they believe that USPS stated back in July that they will make a decision 90 days since then, which implies an October 13th to 14th date. Hence, that 90 days previously. Furthermore, Workhorse being one of the three main applicants left for the contract, they believe that Workhorse is the better fit and the most aligned to actually win this contract and the most competitive. So this contract is worth to be about $8.1 billion for their new car development, new generation delivery vehicle. So, and this article goes over and just kind of also hashes about how Fuzzy Panda, a short seller, was talking how they alleged that Workhorse was actually plaguing and just pushing up their stock price. But as you can see, they actually posted this on Thursday, and on Friday, looks like Workhorse stock didn't even bat an eye about it. So I also want to really point out that this article and ROTH Capital Partners does point out that the USPS contract announcement can possibly be delayed due to said illness, which means we might just expect some sort of announcement even closer towards the end of the year. So what that means is that there's a possibility that this October 13th date might be incorrect and it might not even be announced that date. Alright, so let's go forward. Alright, so let's go over what can go wrong and what can go right for Workhorse right now. Alright. So I'm going to start with the negatives, and we have two big ones in my opinion. So the first one is, what happens if the USPS Next Generation Delivery Vehicle contract isn't announced on October 13th? What happens if there is a delay in this announcement? I mean, it's 2020, friends. Looks like anything can happen, and everything is happening this year. All right, this entire price action on Friday, the entire 17% is based upon this bullish sentiment that the USPS contract is coming into fruition this October 13th, and USPS themselves haven't announced anything. Another investment group did, the ROTH Capital Partners. Let that sink in for a while. I mean, it was a rumor from another group, not the actual USPS themselves. I'm personally pretty worried about this possibility. This isn't a definite answer yet from USPS, so just keep this in mind. Alright, let's go here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and foreshadow my position to you guys, but let's take a look at some call option contracts for Workhorse. And for anyone who doesn't know what options are, the simple answer is that they are contracts to buy and sell 100 shares of said stock, which in this case is Workhorse. I can make a video in the future. If you are interested, let me know and down below in the comments. But just bear with me real quick as I kind of disclose what I'm thinking with my position. So let's say if anyone is buying option contracts for this month of October of this month, so there's 3 expiration dates and they usually end on Friday. But this month of October, I would say it's a high risk, high reward situation. If the contract does blow through past the October 13th date, these option contracts will and possibly have an IV drop. An IV drop or IV is pretty much implied volatility. So right now they do have a volatility of 165%. I believe last week, maybe, I don't know the top of my head, but I think it was about 155. So it did jump up because of the news on Friday. But what I'm kind of just trying to say is that if the contract doesn't happen on October 13th, there's a possibility of there being an IV drop, which is right now currently sitting at 165%, and hence this premium, the right and how much to buy these contracts for, may drop significantly as well. Alright, so let's go back. Is that in the worst case possible, which in my opinion, I don't think this will happen, but just a possibility that Workhorse doesn't get any part of the USPS contract for whichever reason we know why. There is that possibility, which makes Workhorse's evaluation right now not worth the levels they're actually trading at currently. But don't forget that this USPS contract is not an all or nothing contract. USPS can also decide to distribute however much percentage they want to its 3 applicants, which includes Workhorse. So what I'm saying is pretty much the TLDR is that on the negative is that Workhorse's huge valuation is currently based on that date of this contract, whichever we don't know what date that is, and if they received a huge portion of this contract, which is all speculative. Workhorse stock right now is a huge speculative play. Just keep that in mind. Alright, let's move on to the positives. So now that we got that dang negatives out of the way, I'm an optimistic dude, and in my opinion, I can see Workhorse getting a majority part of this USPS contract. If this contract is announced on October 13th or whenever future dates that the Workhorse gets the contract, I can see Workhorse shooting up like no tomorrow. So in my opinion, I'm going to give some price targets, and I would say I'm mostly on the conservative side, and however you want to think about it, I will give some price targets out and we'll see how it goes in the future. But if Workhorse gives a contract of about 50% of the contract, I think its price target would be around $30, $35, which is, I would say, reasonable. If they get about 75% of the contract, I would say maybe 35 to 40. And of course, if they get 100% of this USPS contract, I believe the sky's the limit and Workhorse can shoot past 40 with no problem, and obviously to the moon. And what do I think Workhorse can do in the near future? So currently, I'm going to tell my position. I currently do not own any shares of Workhorse at all, but I actually do have a couple of call option contracts far away for the January 2021 timeframe. I have this at the 25 strike. Let's take a look at those contracts right now. So January 15, 2021, I have it for the $25 contract price, strike price right here. As you can see, right now they are trading for about $8.05, which of course you multiply 100, which is $805. From this price movement from the 17% on Friday, I took the chance to sell some of these contracts actually, just to prepare myself for any possible uncertainties up ahead, while keeping a small amount riding to see what happens, of course. I honestly do think in this situation right now, having shares will probably be the safer play because shares can't really drop to $0 like option contracts right here, especially with their volatile movement right now. So don't forget that this implied volatility, there's a chance that if October 13th comes around and comes past, this can affect the IV if it's really close to the expiration date. Before Friday, I remember this volatility around 145%, I believe, but now it's gone up to about 165, of course, what you saw previously. I forget, but to me, I see October 13th as a similar date to like earnings event. So if something positive happens, which is great, but we just have to hope that this price action has to be bigger and higher than what the market maker is expecting. If not, there's a chance of an IV crush. So right now I am being kind of conservative and letting my free call options ride after selling some. So I just hope they'll go up, but if not, I already made my investment back. With all this bullish sentiment right now for Workhorse, I won't be surprised if Workhorse does open up on Monday around $30. But there's a lot of hype for this stock right now going around, and I'm pretty sure some investors may get some FOMO over the weekend, and that's why it's going to be going even higher, maybe possibly on Monday. But I won't be surprised either if we do see a huge sell-off coming into Tuesday, which is the day of the supposed announcement of this contract, since there's a high chance of profit taking. A 7% move like this is not sustainable at all, and it can go either way. So there is a saying how you buy the rumor and sell the news. It's a stock market, guys. We honestly don't know what is going to happen since anything can happen. Personally, if I was in any workhorse position right now, I would probably nibble a couple of shares just to see where it goes. But I would be wary for the next week since it can be very volatile. In my opinion, if you are a long-term investor, meaning in terms of 2 to 3 years out, I think Workhorse has a great potential value, but it is getting a little pricey for what they are valued at currently. Alright, so if you found this video interesting, please hit that like button down below and let me know down in the comments what you're planning to do with your Workhorse position, short-term or long-term. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.